He dropped 100 points in a single game. He averaged 43 points per game for an entire season. He was supposed to be a future NBA Hall of Famer. Dajuan the Messiah Wagner was simply the greatest high school basketball player in New Jersey history. He won the ESPN National Freshman and Sophomore Player of the Year award. He then went on to average 32 points per game and win a state championship in his junior year. But when he was a senior, Dajuan put together one of the best individual high school basketball seasons we have ever seen, averaging 43 points a game and dropping 100 points in his best game ever. Dajuan went on to have a successful 1 year at Memphis and ended up being taken 6th overall in the 2002 NBA draft by the Cavs. He entered the NBA with expectations of being one of the league's best young stars, and early on it looked like he would exceed any expectation that was ever placed on him. But tragedy struck and an underlying health condition would derail his career, making Dajuan Wagner another example of how an unfortunate health circumstance can prevent someone with all the potential in the world from achieving greatness. But what if I told you Dajuan Wagner's legacy could be rewritten 20 years later? Because Dajuan's son is the #1 ranked senior in the country, DJ Wagner, a player who has all the potential to be an NBA superstar. In this video, I will be talking all about Dajuan Wagner's basketball career and how his son DJ has the skill level to pick up right where he left off. When talking about the history of New Jersey basketball, it is impossible to leave out Dajuan Wagner. Growing up in Camden, Dajuan's main goal was always trying to be the best player to come out of the city. For those who don't know, Camden is a very dangerous place to grow up in. It is a city with one of the worst reputations in America, having a long history of crime, violence, and drugs. Being exposed to this environment throughout his entire childhood, Dajuan could have easily gone down a very dark path. But he was so devoted to becoming the best high school basketball player he could possibly be that he never fell into temptations. The desire he had to play for Camden originated when he was a ball boy for the high school in the 3rd grade. At a very young age, he was exposed to the sport, and not only did he fall in love with basketball, he fell in love with Camden High and the history the school had in the sport. To put in perspective how much it really meant to him, Dajuan said wearing the purple and gold for Camden meant more to him than it would playing for the Lakers. So until he got the chance to play at the high school level, he put in a ton of work. Dajuan was always noticeably better than the kids his age growing up. Everyone took notice, including his uncle, who made him play older competition all the way through middle school. Doing this really prepared Dajuan for the stage he's been dreaming of since he was in the 3rd grade. As you can imagine, coming into his freshman year, Dajuan couldn't be more eager to get on that basketball court and show Camden what he was really about. But unfortunately, during the last team scrimmage before his 9th grade season, Dajuan broke his wrist and was expected to miss 6 to 12 weeks. But nobody could keep him out of the game, and he ended up playing half of the season with his left hand. Despite the injury, Dajuan still managed to average 27 points a game in his first season at Camden High and won the ESPN Freshman of the Year award. He followed that up with an even more successful sophomore season. He averaged 35 points a game and won the ESPN Sophomore of the Year award. Dajuan was quickly transforming into a basketball celebrity in New Jersey and became regarded as the Messiah from Camden. All of this individual success would be enough for most players, but Dajuan wouldn't be satisfied until he won a state championship, which is exactly what he did in his junior year, bringing Camden High their first state title in over 10 years. And this meant everything to Dajuan. He went on the record saying this was his best accomplishment ever. But out of everything he amounted to in high school, I think averaging 43 points per game in a season is the most impressive thing he did. In the 29 games he played during his senior year, Dajuan Wagner averaged 43 points and dropped 100 in his best game ever. He shot 42 of 60 in that 100-point game, and looking back at the footage, Dajuan single-handedly destroyed the other team. He was playing good defense, hitting a bunch of middies, connecting on threes. Dajuan was really doing it all. The massive success he had in high school obviously earned him a lot of offers, and he ended up committing to Memphis. Dajuan was quick to have an impact in college, averaging 21 points in his 36 games played during his freshman season. He was so good that Coach John Calipari revoked his scholarship because he was that certain Dajuan was ready for the NBA. Coach Cal was definitely right, because fast forward to the 2002 NBA draft, Dajuan was taken 6th overall by the Cavs. In his first 11 NBA games, Dajuan averaged 20 points and 5 assists per game. Those numbers are insane for a rookie. He was honestly looking like a future NBA superstar. But this is when issues with his health really started to progress. For a few years leading up to the NBA, Dajuan was dealing with stomach problems, and it really started to get worse when he entered the league. Now keep in mind, this is a guy who played with a broken wrist for the majority of a season in high school. So of course, Dajuan is going to play through this pain. Things really really got bad when he was given anti-inflammatories to help with the pain he was experiencing from a minor jaw injury. The medication made his existing health problem worse, and he ended up getting a bladder infection which led to a blood clot. Dajuan continued to receive medicine in hopes of wiping everything out, but it actually messed up his gut even more. During the remaining games in his rookie season, Dajuan was playing with an incredible amount of stomach pain, and he also tore some cartilage in his knee. He really couldn't catch a break at this point in his career, and his numbers plummeted as a result. After 2 more seasons in the NBA, the Cavs parted ways with him in 2005, which is around the time doctors figured out he was playing with undiagnosed ulcerative colitis. For those who don't know, this is a disease in which the lining of the colon becomes inflamed, resulting in tiny sores or ulcers all over the large intestine. His case was so severe that he ended up being hospitalized and had to undergo surgery to remove part of his colon. Somehow, Dajuan returned to the basketball court 6 months after his surgery, which is 1 to 2 years earlier than doctors said he would be playing again. And he still showed real NBA promise, which led the Warriors to sign him to a 2-year deal. But Dajuan would only play in 1 game with the team because his body just wasn't ready to return to basketball at all. He spent 1 season overseas the year after, but Dajuan just never was the same after his health issues and ended up retiring in 2007. So in the case of Dajuan Wagner, some very unfortunate luck prevented him from becoming an NBA superstar. But the Wagner legacy is not going to have a sad ending, because Dajuan has a son with the skill level to pick up right where he left off. #1 ranked player in the class of 2023, DJ Wagner, just so happens to be the son of Dajuan. So let's transition into talking about him. This summer, I traveled all over the country watching EYBL, and DJ was one of the main guys that I focused on. Going into these games, I already knew how good of a shooter, ball handler, and playmaker DJ is. Some of the dribbling highlights I've seen puts into perspective that he is one of the best ball handlers high school basketball has seen in a while. I assumed he would do most of his scoring outside, so I was pretty surprised when he got a lot of buckets around the rim. DJ showcased an extremely advanced finishing ability at the games I was in attendance for. He had a ton of tough finishes and showed that he is able to absorb contact and contort his body well when driving to the basket. Plus, DJ is very comfortable with his offhand and uses it just as much, if not more, than his dominant one on layups, which is funny given how his dad was given the nickname Lefty when he broke his wrist in his freshman year. Honestly, there is a ton of resemblances between DJ and Dajuan's game, but the biggest thing is they both can flat out score the ball. DJ can knock down the 3, the midi, the floater, honestly just about every shot on the floor. He is the true definition of a 3-level scorer, and if I had to pick one player to compare him to, I would go with Kyrie. Offensively, there just isn't that much to critique in his game. Like I mentioned earlier, on top of being an elite scorer, DJ is also a phenomenal playmaker and ball handler with a great IQ. The only negative I can really say at this point is his current level of strength may hinder him defensively at the next level, but his lateral quickness still allows him to be a solid defender on the perimeter, and over time, I think we will see him put on some more muscle. Now, being the #1 ranked player in the country is going to result in a ton of Division I offers, but we still don't know where DJ is going to attend in college. Currently, the 2 frontrunners are Louisville and Kentucky. Louisville because his grandfather played basketball there, and as of a few months ago, he is on the team's staff. And Kentucky for multiple reasons. One being, Kentucky is without question one of the best college basketball programs ever, but it's the relationship that Dajuan has built with Coach Calipari that makes experts believe that DJ will land there. When talking about Coach Cal, Dajuan said he's going to get you where you are supposed to get to, your dream. On top of that, during an interview that took place this past week, Coach Calipari said this.
Well, he could play. I may get another kid where I coached his dad. Now all of a sudden you're like coaching kids.
Breaking news.
No. Oh, media's here? Oh, great. That's just great.
He may have accidentally just hinted that they will land him. Dajuan's influence and Kentucky's history as a program is going to have a major impact on DJ's decision, which is why so many people believe he is going to be a Wildcat. But Dajuan has told DJ to do whatever he thinks is best for himself, being there to help him through the recruitment process and not pressure him. Wherever DJ chooses to go, I'm certain he will find great success in college and be a one-and-done player just like his dad. His game is far too advanced to stay in college for more than a year, and I'm anticipating he will be a lottery pick in the 2024 NBA draft. If you can tell by my player analysis, I am very high on DJ Wagner, and I think he has all the tools to have a long and successful career in the NBA. DJ has the opportunity to pick up right where his father was forced to leave and can carry on the family's basketball legacy. And I think that is exactly what he's going to do. Make sure you check out the video we did on Bronny James. In that video, we give a breakdown on Bronny's game, talk about his college recruitment, and answer the big question, does he have what it takes to make it in the NBA? If you enjoyed this video, you will love that one. As always, thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next one.